Comfortable, big, reliable, spacious and relaxed. That's what this Audi is. This is a little report I thought I'd just knock up as an improvised thing on my way home. I've just covered 1,000 miles. In fact, 1,105 miles, and I thought that's long enough for me to be able to tell you whether I like the car or not. And today I've done test drives in two of the cars. One of them, the Subaru Impreza, which is a very, very exciting car and a very fast car, it's just bags and bags of character, isn't it? Yes. The other was an MG4 X-Power, a car that I'd heard about but not really looked into, and it's rapid. I mean, I've driven some quick cars, but that thing is unbelievable. Apparently 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds, and that's not even an exaggeration, because it's been timed at less than that by CarWow. But finishing for the day, climb back in the big Audi, and it feels the same. It doesn't feel slow because of it, and it certainly feels comfortable, rather cosseted. Now the MG, nicely put together interior, nice and spacious, very dark inside, but it just doesn't have that same thing that this has. When I first took this car on, I thought it's worthwhile doing, and if I don't really get on with it too well, or I'll get bored with it, which is the most likely thing to happen, I can just move it on, do a trade, sell it, whatever it takes, buy myself a Volvo. But oddly enough, I haven't been thinking that kind of thing at all. And after 1,100 miles, if I'm going to do, I probably would have done by now. So it has a couple of little faults with it here and there, but nothing really. In fact, it's not even worthwhile mentioning. The thing I like about this is just it's got such an easygoing nature about it somehow. Having test drove two Audis the same as this, as in the same body, the A6 C5 Avant, and really liked them and found them to be more Audi-like than Audis that you normally see knocking about, I did think, oh, I'd quite like one of those. I think I'd enjoy it, and I do. I really do. It's worked out quite well. Now, keep messing about with the trip counter. You know, you have these little games where you can see what miles per gallon you can get doing a particular thing. I made a silly video about it. So I don't know what my overall average is over the past 1,100 miles, but I can tell you that since I last reset it, which was 33 hours ago, or 33 driving hours ago, I think that's right anyway, I am averaging 46 miles per gallon. And that's good because I've been on the motorway briefly, but the rest of the time has just been going to work and back, going to Todmorden instead of just local Lidl, because it feels like I'm on holiday going to Yorkshire. So 46 miles per gallon isn't bad. And I've driven it quite gently, I've driven it quite respectfully. I don't thrash it. Sometimes I do put my foot down a little bit because it's got quite a nice foot downy feel to it. But the conclusion, am I happy now being Audi man as well? I'm still Rover man because I'll always have a Rover. I'll always have an enthusiasm for all things British, but this is not in the slightest bit British. And yeah, I'm happy with this car. I'm happy with the space, I'm happy with the way it drives, I'm happy with the way it looks. It's handsome. And do I want to get rid of it? No. Surprisingly enough, I would happily keep it. But would I swap it for something better? Well, what's better? The newer A6 car, well, it's a bit bigger, it's a bit wider, but it's not quite as well put together, or so I believe, and that this is quite possibly the last proper Audi. And I like that. Plus, I don't want a newer car than this. Would I swap it for a Volvo V70? Now at first I would have been, yes, definitely, yes, I'd rather have a Volvo. But now I'm thinking, I don't know, because actually the space in this is even bigger than the Volvo. The boot is huge without compromising the rear legroom, which is a surprise, and an impressive surprise at that. I tend to chop and change cars, so the chances of me hanging on to something like this for any longer than a couple of months is always quite minimal, and that means that I can't really commit to it. I'd like a tow bar, really. I want a car with a tow bar. Would I swap this for a Rover 75 Touring with a tow bar? No, actually I wouldn't, and I'll tell you why. Because I believe that this is just a better car, and it's bigger inside. I just wish it had a tow bar. So the sensible thing to do for me would be to just keep this car. This is my proper everyday car, and I don't really need to talk about it, because after 1100 miles I know I would happily keep it. The end. Thank you for watching, thank you for subscribing and being a channel member, etc. Bye bye.